This video contains 10 minutes of NeFi footage with 1-minute segments per sample.
But no, there's like a lot of fields, and I thought, oh, I'm going to be a country girl. I was 8. I made my mom buy me a corncob pipe, and I would like walk around the yard like, hey, I'm Huck Finn, you know. But I played the piano since I was 4, and then when I was 9, the band director came to school, and they let you pick an instrument, and he played like, you know, all the different instruments, and then the trombone, he played the trombone, and I was like, oh man, everybody's gonna pick the trombone. That's like clearly the coolest one. But it was only me and this kid Ryan that picked trombone. Everybody else picked like saxophone or drums or something. Like,
yeah.
I played trombone. I even played in the marching band, but I wasn't very good, so I would just kind of like move my slide, like pretending, you know? So,
yeah.
I mean, like, there's cookies and puppets. It's really clean, except for the title. But I didn't know what coochie meant for so long. Like, I was like 25 years old reading the vagina monologues, and I was like, what? About. It was like I had this flash, like all the times kids made fun of me, like.
So she's a little Frankenstein-y in that way, but seeing food become animals is something like, again, like just out of a dream, like things that you've never seen before, and you're gonna see that in this movie. So that's what I love. And then the characters and the relationships, it just really sets the bar high, because not only are you seeing something that you've never seen before, but you're also like watching Flint figure out how to deal with peer pressure and how to, like, you know, trust himself and trust the people closest to him, even in an incredibly new situation. And I think ultimately it comes down to, you know, all these amazing things, like world-changing things that you couldn't dream of are coming out of this one character, this very unexpected hero, Flint Lockwood. And he's so unassuming and so, you know, so humble and so excited about science. And that I think is making the
Oh, hi, babes. It's been a minute, or 10, or a lot of minutes, actually. I'm sorry I've been gone. Wanted to give you an update on what's going on. I have a really big announcement that I'm nervous/excited to share with you, and I want to tell you about what I plan to do with this channel going forward. So, let's start with where I've been. MIA status includes some combination of holiday stuff, of course, but also I've had some health issues going on. It's not fun. It is very stressful and may or may not have involved bleeding for over a month. It's under control, so no need to like freak out or worry about me. I'm fine. I'll be fine. It's just been, you know, it's a thing that's happening. I've also been working on 2 projects. One of them is an extremely demanding project that I've been working on.
You know, bedtime stories every night, and whether it was he was reading Lord of the Rings to me, or he would actually also tell me stories from his real life.
Okay.
And, you know, as bedtime stories and these adventures of places he went and things he did, and, you know, and I talk about in the book, it always ended with him shaking the hand of, like, you know, some awesome person. And I remember as a kid telling him, Dad, I want to go places, I want to be like you, and I want to meet people, I want to shake their hands along the way. And also, you know, he would also read us his scripts, his, you know, Hollywood scripts he would write back in the day when he wanted to make movies. And so from my dad, I learned that you will be better off by chasing your dreams. And did my dad get his movies made? No, he didn't. But he had the most amazing stories from his adventures as he tried.
Right.
And so it just kind of taught me that, you know, it's okay if you don't. Like, you know, it was okay if I chased my dreams and didn't become what I wanted to become, because I would become something I was proud of the same way my dad did. And
you're very beautiful. Very cool to have you on the program. You just won.
I just graduated last week from high school. I live in Saratoga, California.
Oh, very good. Good for you.
An age phone, like a brick of a phone. All it could do was call. I didn't text. I still don't know how to text. I text like this. And
wait, what kind of phone?
Yes, I wanted to figure out a way to basically increase the amount of energy it can store, and that's what I began doing with my new project. Yes, there's people from all over around the world, but the scariest thing is their titles. So as a science fair kid, you learn not to look at people's titles because they're unbelievably scary. People are curing cancer, like making robotic arms, doing all sorts of crazy things. So do not look at titles.
Right.
I worked on the design and synthesis of hydrogenated titanium dioxide polyaniline core shell nanorods for flexible high-performance supercapacitors.
Okay.
So what I did was make a new type of energy storage device, which can store a lot more energy and it can charge very quickly. So you have to charge it with, like how you charge a cell phone battery, and you put charge in it, and it stores.
Look very similar, but the main differences are that bonobos have these really cute part in the middle of their head. For some reason, their hair just parts directly down the center. And they have these really red lips, so they have pigmented pink lips just like us. And trees, there's a lot of competition when they feed. So it's kind of like chimpanzees live in an Easter egg patch where there's only like kind of a few high value yummy chocolate eggs, and you know you've been to an Easter egg hunt where there isn't quite enough, the children kind of descend into these little feral things that are running around prepared to kill each other. And so bonobos, they live kind of more in a chocolate factory. So they survive on this herbaceous root, and there's just so much of it. There's so much of it around, and so they're kind of like a lot more laid back. And this is sort of transferred onto their temperament because we see that there's a lot more competition with chimpanzees. They're emotionally, they're a lot more driven, whereas bonobos, they're kind of like, you know, laid back, and you know, it's no problem for them if everyone's getting along, because everyone's going to get fed. So bonobo females can actually stick together because there's just so much food, which
I just said, we're being watched, let's get out of here, besides I have to take a piss.
Where did it from
James
a
Bond?
Russian girl that I was dating, and then we were also watching a James Bond movie, so it just kind of all came together.
It all is
it all came
perfectly.
together to the yes. But no, at the moment I'm not dating anybody.
The romantic thing, and I could not think of anything worse. I get too hypercritical hearing my own voice on record or in an answering machine message, either one. My go-to makeout music when I was younger was like Fiona Apple, Portishead, D'Angelo. I still put on the D'Angelo. I want some of your sugar. I'm still single. I'd like to be able to fly and be invisible, and to be able to fly through walls with that invisibility. I would like to be able to shoot fire from my eyeballs. Best part about being me, the honeys. Well, I kind of mentioned the travel.
Well, you do. I mean, yes and no. I mean, I think we have a lot of respect for each other, and she knows that we've kind of, you know, you learn a lot about yourself as you get older. If you examine yourself, which you need to, not physically, but if you examine...
Yeah. How do you cope with that now? Because you stopped drinking years ago, didn't you?
Well, I didn't drink for years. You know what? And then I started drinking again, and then I stopped again because I realised, I don't particularly like drinking. I don't think...
See, when you say drinking,
I could just play off. I could do like 2 bottles of wine on my own easily, and I'd still be standing, but having a good time. And I don't mind being out with people who are drinking. My wife likes a cocktail sometimes in the evening, and that's great, and my kids sometimes drink. So if you're out with them and they're having it, it's not like I'm sitting there going, oh, stop drinking, why are you drinking? I shouldn't be drinking. You know, it doesn't bother me. It's just that it's easy to make their choice, but as long as you're comfortable with it.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you are sitting there, so I don't feel like I'm denying myself anything. They get hammered.
Have you ever had a guest that has got...
Oh, loads of times. We've had loads of people who are, like, really out of it. I'm just trying to remember. I mean, you know, well, like Johnny Vegas obviously acts it as well as does it. But we've had... I'm just trying to think who I can say safely. Yeah.
That was a good show.
Yeah, but I've never seen Lewis drunk before. He was...
She's incredibly beautiful. They both look like they stepped out of a magazine ad, okay? And I go, hi. And I just woke up. And you know that thing when you just wake up, when someone calls you, or you just wake up, you can't talk? She's like, how's it going, Conan? And I go, nice. Happy see you. Elevator. Elevator good. And she gets a little freaked out. And the handsomest man in the world, who's a restaurateur, an international restaurateur, and his name is like Dirk, says like, it's very nice to meet you. And then I go, yeah, handsome, you're handsome. And he goes, right. And they both kind of back away. We get off the elevator, they get out, they stand in front of the building, and Cindy Crawford and the handsomest man in the world go into this passionate kiss before they leave for the day. She's going to go one way, he's going to go the other. They have this passionate kiss, and I realize I'm standing too close. I'm invading them. I'm like, they're kissing right here, and I'm going...
I was a dancer. I was, in fact, a fly girl.
Really?
And let me tell you is I actually kind of, this is probably a bit weird, but I kind of like the smell of my kid's poo. You know, there's a couple of poos that I remember fondly. Like, One of the boys, I won't say which one, but one of the boys, it was outside a Toys R Us, and just like it was one of those, I guess, excitement took hold. And I remember folding that thing down on the back of the car and taking off a diaper and going, oh, have you been drinking Guinness?
And plaid.
Thank you, sir. For you, you bastard. You don't know that.
The thing is, your Scottish accent is so good, I don't understand what you're saying.
That's how good it is. Right,
You're right away there.
You think it could have given me like... Take a cat, put a finger in its ass.
Can he say that?
Yes.
What are you